All stand and remain standing until the conclusion of the reading of the proclamation. Ladies and gentlemen, the proclamation. All persons having any business before this honorable court now draw nigh. Give your attendance, and you shall be heard.
Admission of lawyers. Neha Abhilash.
May it please the court, I move that Neha Abhilash be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
That Nehu Abhilash be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Kirat Kaur Badesha.
May it please the court, I move that Kirat Kaur Badesha be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
That Kirat Kaur Badesha be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Josephine Bui.
May it please the court, I move that Josephine Bowie be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
That Josephine Bowie be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Dion Bryant Bull.
May it please the court, I move that Dion Bryant Bull be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
That Dion Bryant Bull be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Desmond Kai.
May it please the court, I move that Desmond Kai be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
That Desmond Kai be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Laura Catherine Carter.
May it please the court, I move that my daughter, Laura Catherine Carter, be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
That Laura Catherine Carter be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Isaac Chalik.
May it please the court, I move that Isaac Chalik be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
That Isaac Chalik be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Jasmine Dawadar.
May it please the court, I move that Jasmine Dowder be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
That Jasmine Dawadar be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Annabella Lucy Duma.
May it please the court, I move that Annabella Lucy Dumas be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
That Annabella Lucy Duma be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Tashnia Danielle Fonseca.
May it please the court, I move that Tashnia Danielle Fonseca be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
That Tashnia Danielle Fonseca be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Sebastian Francis Galetto.
May it please the court, I move that Sebastian Francis Galetto be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
That Sebastian Francis Galetto be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Brianna Gould.
May it please the court, I move that Brianna Gould be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
That Brianna Gould be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Rushit Goyal.
May it please the court, I move that Rushit Goyal be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
That Richard Goyal be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Lucy Rose Greenwood.
May it please the court, I move that Lucy Rose Greenwood be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
That Lucy Rose Greenwood be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Benjamin Patrick Hanson.
May it please the court, I move that Benjamin Patrick Hanson be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
That Benjamin Patrick Hanson be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Kai Wai Ho.
May it please the court, I move that Kai Wai Ho be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
That Kai Wai Ho be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Hui Na Kay.
May it please the court, I move that my partner, Yunai Kay, be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
That Hui Nai Kay be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Kyra Shanyi Lee.
May it please the court, I move that Kyra Lee be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
That Kyra Shanwi Lee be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Michelle Ning Lei.
May it please the court, I move that Michelle Ning Lei be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
That Michelle Wing Lei be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
William Feng Lee.
May it please the court, I move that William Feng Lee be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
That William Feng Lee be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Keely Ann Long.
May it please the court, I move that Keely Ann Long be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
That Keely Ann Long be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Alexander Mastrovangelis.
May it please the court, I move that Alexander Mastrovangelis be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
That Alexander Mastrovangelis be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Christina Matiak.
May it please the court, I move that my cousin Christina Matiuk be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
That Christina Matiuk be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Lily Rose McCubbin.
May it please the court, I move that my sister Lily Rose McCubbin be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
That Lily Rose McCubbin be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Rianne Mordaunt Books.
May it please the court, I move that Rianne Mordaunt Books be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
That Rianne Mordaunt Books be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Isaac Henry McHugh Morgan.
May it please the court, I move that Isaac Henry McHugh Morgan be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
That Isaac Henry McHugh Morgan be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Monica Marie Mujali.
May it please the court, I move that Monica Marie Mujali be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
That Monica Marie Mujali be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Sophia Rose Musamichi.
May it please the court, I move that Sophia Musamichi be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
That Sophia Rose Musamichi be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Tess Elizabeth O'Connor.
May it please the court, I move that my daughter, Tess Elizabeth O'Connor, be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
That Tess Elizabeth O'Connor be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Anish Ganesh Prakash.
Please the court, I move that Anish Ganesh Prakash be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
That Anish Ganesh Prakash be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Neha Vanisha Prasad.
May it please the court, I move that Neha Vanisha Prasad be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
That Neha Vanisha Prasad be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Sabagya Rao.
May it please the court, I move that Sabagya Rao be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
That Sabagya Rao be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Holly Reagan.
May it please the court, I move that Holly Regan be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
That Holly Regan be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Sophie Lee McNamara Richardson.
May it please the court, I move that Sophie Lee McNamara Richardson be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
That Sophie Lee McNamara Richardson be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Jasmine Louise Robertson.
May it please the court, I move that Jasmine Louise Robertson be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
That Jasmine Louise Robertson be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Shania Sharma.
May it please the court, I move that my daughter Shania Sharma be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
That Shania Sharma be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Tarandeep Singh.
May it please the court, I move that Tarandeep Singh be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
That Tarandeep Singh be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Anthony G. Nyan Song.
May it please the court, I move that Anthony Jai Nian Song be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
That Anthony Jia Nin Song be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Pavel Tatarov.
May it please the court, I move that Pavel Tatarov be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
That Pavel Tatarov be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Samantha Elizabeth Titmus.
May it please the court, I move that Samantha Elizabeth Titmus be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Samantha Elizabeth Titmus be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Emily Fong Tui Vu.
May it please the court, I move that Emily Fu Thai Vu be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Emily Fong Tai Vu be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Taris Jade Watson.
May it please the court, I move that Taris Jade Watson be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable
Let
court.
Taris Jade Watson be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Verity Jane Welsh.
May it please the court, I move that Verity Jane Welsh be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Verity Jane Welch be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Caitlin Ching Yi Yan.
May it please the court, I move that Caitlin Ching Yi Yan be admitted as lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Caitlin Ching Yi Yan be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Gang Yang.
May it please the court,
I move that Gang Yang be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
That Gang Yang be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Ling Xuan Zhang.
May it please the court, I move that Lin Xuanzhang be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
That Ling Zhang be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Wendy Ann Zheng.
May it please the court, I move that Wendy Ann Zheng be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
That Wendy Ann Zheng be admitted as a lawyer of this court. It will now be necessary for those whose admission has just been moved to stand as and when directed and remain standing for the purposes of swearing an oath or making a declaration and affirmation. So please stand as directed by the officiating officer.
Thank you. Could rows 1 and 2 on my right please stand? Neha Abhilash, Kirit Kaur Badesha, Josephine Bowie, Dion Bryant Bull, Desmond Kai, Laura Catherine Carter, Isaac Chalik, Jasmine Dawada, Annabella Lucy Dumas, Tashnia Danielle Fonseca, Sebastian Francis Galetto, Brianna Gould, Rushit Goyal, Lucy Rose Greenwood, Benjamin Patrick Hanson. Do you severally swear or declare and affirm that you will truly and honestly conduct yourselves in the practice of a lawyer of the Supreme Court of New South Wales, and that you will faithfully serve as such in the administration of the laws and usages of this state according to the best of your knowledge, skill and ability? Would you please say, so help me God, or I do? Thank you. Please sit down. And could rows 3 and 4 on my right please stand? Kai Wai Ho, Hui Na Kay, Kyra Shani Lee, Michelle Ning Lei, William Feng Lee, Keely Ann Long, Alexander Mastrovangelis, Christina Matiak, Lily Rose McCubbin, Rianne Morden Bush, Isaac Henry McHugh Morgan, Monica Marie Mujali, Sophia Rose Musamichi, Tess Elizabeth O'Connor, Anish Ganesh Prakash, Neha Vanisha Prasad, Sabagya Rao, Holly Regan, and Sophie Lee McNamara Richardson. Do you severally swear or declare and affirm that you will truly and honestly conduct yourselves in the practice of a lawyer of the Supreme Court of New South Wales, and that you will faithfully serve as such in the administration of the laws and usages of this state according to the best of your knowledge, skill and ability? Would you please say, so help me God, or I do?
So help me God.
Thank you. Please sit down. And could the 2 rows to my left please stand? Jasmine Louise Robertson, Shania Sharma, Taramdeep Singh, Anthony Janan Song, Pavel Tatarov, Samantha Elizabeth Titmus, Emily Fong Tui Vu, Taras Jade Watson, Verity Jane Welsh, Caitlin Ching Yi Yan, Gang Yang, Ling Xuan Zhang, and Wendy Ann Zheng. Do you severally swear or declare and affirm that you will truly and honestly conduct yourselves in the practice of a lawyer of the Supreme Court of New South Wales, and that you will faithfully serve as such in the administration of the laws and usages of this state according to the best of your knowledge, skill and ability? Would you please say, so help me God, or I do?
I do.
Thank you. Please sit down.
Well, may I warmly welcome you all to this, the Banco Court of the Supreme Court of New South Wales. Present with me on the bench today is Justice Peden, to my right, who is a judge of the Equity Division, and Justice Schmidt to my left, who is a judge of the Common Law Division, and I should say, is celebrating her 30th year as a judge of various courts in New South Wales. quite extraordinary achievement. Together, we constitute the court that has, in the exercise of its jurisdiction, admitted you, the newly admitted lawyers, to practice today. And we have done so sitting on the land for which the Gadigal of the Eora Nation have cared and been custodians for thousands of years. The court pays its respect to elders past and present and extends those respects to all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people. I also acknowledge that sitting with us on the bench today is Her Honour Judge Judith Gibson of the District Court of New South Wales, whose associate is being admitted. I should also acknowledge that sitting modestly up to my left is the Honourable Michael McHugh, ACKC, formerly a Judge of the High Court and of the New South Wales Court of Appeal, one of the finest judges in the High Court's history. I acknowledge his presence in court today. To all of the newly admitted lawyers, welcome to the legal profession. Today is one of great celebration. We, sitting up here, know just how hard you have all had to work to get to this stage of your journey. It is a memory that never really leaves you. I'm also pleased to welcome those with you today or watching on the live stream. For many of you, the support of your family and friends will have been invaluable. No doubt they've also been on the receiving end of your finely polished or still emerging skills of argument and persuasion. I encourage you to take time to thank them today. And depending on how good an advocate you are or have become, you might even convince them to shout you a round of drinks or even an extended dinner tonight to celebrate the occasion. In being admitted as a lawyer of this court, you join an honourable and ancient profession with the custom of advocates swearing an oath on admission to practice, dating back to the 12th century. This court first admitted lawyers in 1824, so that May next year represents the 200th anniversary of the tradition you now join. By 1830, the names of new lawyers were entered onto the rolls of the then colony, as you will do immediately after this ceremony in the foyer of this building. It is in acknowledgement of the weighty responsibility you undertake today that we observe today's unique formalities, including the fact that your admission has been moved by someone who is already a member of the profession, and that you have each made a formal oath or affirmation in the presence of your family and peers. They are all, therefore, witnesses to the promises and undertakings you have made today. And those promises represented in the oath or the affirmation are promises that must be observed for the remainder of your professional careers. In most cases, for you, that will be at least 30 or 40 years. In terms of tradition and formality, you will see from some of the portraits on the walls of this court that we up here on the bench are wearing the same robes, in some cases literally, as have been worn by our predecessors. We don't wear them because they're particularly comfortable, especially in summer, but we wear them for a very important symbolic reason. Symbolically, they highlight the continuity over 200 years of the rule of law in New South Wales, although the judges wearing the robes are now drawn from an increasingly diverse pool. As to continuity of the rule of law, we live in a world in which there is regrettably much global uncertainty and insecurity. And in such a world, the rule of law is more important than ever, and not simply a phrase of some theoretical import, and certainly not a concept that one should take for granted. The rule of law is the opposite of the arbitrary abuse of power and the rule of autocratic dictators and populists. We know, looking not so far away, that there is nothing theoretical about those threats to democracy. Now, the law touches every part of our society, and it can and will lead you all in many different directions and career paths. But in whatever direction you head, you must always remember that the oath or the affirmation you have just made is a serious one, as I've said, and deserves solemn regard. Whether you work in private practice, at the bar, in a community law centre, a Crown Law office, the Aboriginal Legal Service, a government department or regulatory agency, or in an entirely different field, you should be known always for your honesty, your integrity, and your commitment to justice, and must strive at all times to uphold what are cardinal values of our democracy and legal system. Notwithstanding the formality and tradition attending the ceremony, and to which I've already referred, not everything in the legal profession remains unchanging. For example, we saw during the pandemic an accelerated technological shift which has had profound and ongoing implications for the way in which our legal system can operate and interact with members of the community, which has also delivered greater workplace flexibility for practitioners, particularly for those with family responsibilities and in regional and remote communities. But while the increased use of technology offers a number of not insignificant advantages, I have to say to you that the practice of the law has human nature and human interaction at its core. An essential part of being a good lawyer is understanding people, how others react to different situations, perform under pressure, and deal with each other. There have, of course, been other important changes in the legal profession that deserve attention, in addition to those brought about by the pandemic. When we think of the diversity, for example, of the legal profession, we encounter a duality. In terms of gender, we have come a long way, as I shall explain, but much still needs to be done. To take the example of female lawyers, in New South Wales, women until 1918 were not even permitted to practice or qualify as lawyers, and for many years thereafter, although legally able to do so, they were not welcome in the legal profession. That has happily changed. Since 2018, female lawyers have made up more than half of all solicitors with a practicing certificate in New South Wales, and currently female lawyers make up more than 2/3 of solicitors under the age of 30. Moreover, some of the most senior positions in the law in Australia are held by distinguished female lawyers, including the current Chief Justice of the High Court, of the Federal Court, the Supreme Courts of Victoria, Queensland, and the ACT, as well as our own President of the Court of Appeal, Justice Julie Wood. This state's Director of Public Prosecutions and Senior Public Defender, as well as the Presidents of the Bar Association and Law Society of New South Wales, are also distinguished female lawyers. But there should be also strong representation of lawyers from the many different backgrounds which comprise our rich cosmopolitan community. Diverse representation amongst solicitors, advocates, and judges assists in ensuring that all people who become involved in our justice system can, and feel that they can, be properly heard and fairly engaged with by a system reflective of our broader community. The admissions ceremonies on which I have sat since becoming a judge almost 5 years ago, including this ceremony, highlight that there is a far greater diversity of background amongst junior lawyers than when I commenced practice. That is a very good thing, and leaders of the profession and of the courts are working hard to foster inclusiveness and diversity. That is because that in turn builds trust in and respect for not only the judiciary and the legal profession, but ultimately respect for the rule of law. Now, let me now offer a little bit of Friday afternoon professional and personal advice. As a lawyer, you will often need to make difficult or challenging ethical decisions. You must use the tools you have developed to think critically and not compromise on your fundamental duties to the court and to the administration of justice. At various points in your career, you may make mistakes, some minor, some maybe more serious. We all make mistakes from time to time. But when you do make mistakes, your commitment to honesty, integrity, and the administration of justice means that you must take responsibility, correct what you can, and learn from those errors. One mistake that I would advise you strongly not to make is to fall into the trap of giving your clients the advice you think they want to hear. I can tell you right now that that will almost invariably not be good advice, and they will not welcome it in the long run when the true picture emerges. Being a lawyer means you must be detached and dispassionate, able to give independent and fearless advice, even if that advice does not please your client. Being a lawyer means that you are an advisor, a problem solver, a mediator, and an advocate, and that applies whether or not you're in litigation. As you go about your day-to-day work, you must remember that you are not merely dealing with the law in a vacuum, but the law as it applies to people's lives. An individual in need of your services as a lawyer will, in many cases, be an individual facing some kind of great personal challenge or crisis affecting his or her liberty, property, personal well-being, or health or financial security. For these reasons, you must always strive to perform your role as a lawyer not only competently and fearlessly, but always with courtesy, integrity, and sensitivity and respect, but sensitivity to the circumstances of the matter. And that extends not only to your own client, but to anyone they are in conflict with. In this context, I wish to emphasise the importance in practice of what some describe as the old-fashioned notion of civility. Aspects of the law, especially if you're involved in litigation, are unavoidably confrontational. But the practice of the law can be demanding enough without personal animus and antagonism between practitioners adding to the load, as regrettably it sometimes does. It is essential that as practitioners you maintain your detachment, balance, and good humour, remembering at all times that you are now members of a profession which is different from and not a business. And remember this, that the best advocates can and do make their point simply and succinctly. Often, less is more. Some of the most experienced lawyers, and I dare say judges, could also use that reminder from time to time. And whilst I, of course, accept from that proposition Justices Peterson and Schmidt, I don't necessarily accept myself. For a non-lawyer, law is often incomprehensible, difficult to fathom or understand. One of your roles as a lawyer will be to make the law accessible to others, in particular your clients, sometimes by deciphering legal complexities, by deciphering or getting to the bottom of complex legal drafting, and sometimes by simply getting to the bottom of messy factual situations and explaining the position in its proper legal framework. Strive to be clear and concise at all times in both your writing and your speaking. To do so facilitates access to justice. In the practice of the law, your physical and mental health are both extremely important, a matter not perhaps sufficiently recognised and acknowledged until relatively recently. There may, and I dare say will be times when you feel overwhelmed, burnt out, or distressed. Legal practice can be all-consuming and physically and mentally taxing. Now, that's often because lawyers are powerfully motivated to do the best for their clients, to make sure the case is ready for argument, to make sure the advice is as comprehensive as possible, or that you're completely on top of the facts and the law. And all of that is admirable, I should say, but it can be a demanding and occasionally all-consuming career. So you must work hard to keep your balance and keep your eye out to ensure that your colleagues do so as well. If you do get overwhelmed by it all, as frankly we all have from time to time, and I dare say still do, try to take a step back and recapture some perspective. You should also remember that the law is a highly collegiate profession. And in this context, it's my pleasure to now ask two young representatives, one from the Bar and one from the Law Society, to offer a few brief words of welcome and congratulations to you, the newly admitted lawyers. Ms. Trong, do you move?
May it please the court. My name is Yvonne Trung and I'm a barrister at 6 St James Hall Chambers. On behalf of the New South Wales Bar Association, I welcome you to the legal profession. The legal profession is an old profession based on precedent and the rule of law, whilst also being a profession that grows and develops to adapt to new practices and technology, and importantly, to society's values as they change over time. For several decades now, the composition of lawyers and barristers in New South Wales has changed to better reflect the community. The bar today is a welcoming place for people of all genders and backgrounds. It is an honour to be a lawyer and, in my case, a barrister, and I am proud to be a member of the legal profession. I enjoy the intellectual challenge of my job and that it allows me to give expert advice to and represent people in court and to contribute to society in a meaningful way. If you are interested in coming to the bar, you can contact the New South Wales Bar Association or have a look at its website, and each year there is a Career at the Bar Open Day. In your first year of practice as a reader, you receive particular assistance from 2 barristers of at least 7 years seniority who meet with you weekly, review your work, and teach you practical skills. But the support you will receive is not limited to those 2 barristers. The bar is renowned for its collegiality, especially in chambers. There are also opportunities to become involved in the work of the New South Wales Bar Association, which is the professional body that supports barristers and has a range of committees, including a new barristers committee, which organises social and educational functions for 0 to 5 year barristers like me, and a diversity and equality committee, which promotes one of the key strategic goals of the New South Wales Bar Association, being to attract the best people to become barristers, regardless of their race, religion, gender, parental status, or sexual preference. Whether as a lawyer or as a barrister, I encourage you to get involved in the Law Society or the Bar Association and to use your skills to assist your community. It is a rewarding experience to practice in connection with others in your profession. Once again, on behalf of the New South Wales Bar Association, I welcome you to the legal profession, and I congratulate you on your admission today as a lawyer of this honourable court. May it please the court.
Mr. Masri, do you move?
May it please the court. My name is Bernie Masri, and not so long ago, I was precisely where you are today. And what a tremendous day it is for all of you. You're here, being admitted to the Supreme Court role as the final step at the end of a long and arduous journey. And you should all feel immensely proud of everything you've achieved thus far. When I embarked on my career as a solicitor, I had no real idea of what to expect. There were, and I dare say likely remain, many uncertain challenges to overcome. But as I stand here today, after only a couple of years as working as a solicitor, I can already tell you that I've learned a thing or two in that time. And one of the most important things that I've learned is the significance of belonging to a profession. The legal profession is an increasingly large and diverse community, and one to which you all now belong. The Law Society of New South Wales is the home of that community, with our 30,000 members flung far and wide across the state. We're bound by our shared duties, our commitment to continuous learning, our desire to connect, our drive to give back to our communities, and to uphold the rule of law, a duty which now also rests with each of you. As an early career lawyer, belonging to a strong network of peers is crucial. This is why I've been a part of the Law Society's New South Wales Young Lawyers branch for around 6 years now. And here, amongst opportunities to advocate and join committees, I've found friendship, inspiration, guidance, and support when I needed it the most. By joining the Law Society and New South Wales Young Lawyers, you will gain access to professional support, conferences and events, a wide range of publications, professional development opportunities, mentoring, volunteer opportunities, and so much more. It is the role of the Law Society to ensure that you, as a newly minted solicitor, can thrive and succeed in your new profession. So again, congratulations to you all. Look us up or speak to your employer. We look forward to welcoming you into the New South Wales Law Society community. May I please the court.
Can I say this to you all in closing? The law is a wonderful profession. It's stimulating, challenging, and satisfying. And it's populated by intelligent, committed, and dynamic people such as yourselves. You should be proud to be a lawyer, of your achievements to date, and of the profession that you have just joined. It is a very important profession that underpins stability and cohesion in our community. You are now a very important part of that important profession. So work hard, take pride in your work, look out for your colleagues, contribute to the broader community, and don't take yourself too seriously. We wish you all the very best of luck on the exciting journey that lies ahead and a full and rewarding career. On behalf of Justice Peet and Justice Schmidt and all of our colleagues on the Supreme Court of New South Wales, I once again congratulate you on your admission and welcome you to the legal profession. The court will now adjourn.
All stand. This honourable court is now adjourned.